Hello everyone, it is MisterStubstep, and golly gee, this was a lot of work, but today I bring you guys all the X and Y promos that are worth more than $1 according to the TCG player market value. So this will generally cover almost every single promo. There's a few here and there that are missing, but honestly, you probably didn't expect those promos to be worth anything anyway. Like always, down below, I will have timestamps if you just want to skip straight to the graded card portion. And also I'll have a link to this. I'm going to be skipping over a lot of cards because there's 211 like numbered XY cards that I'm also going over the 8 from Evolutions that were numbered like the Evolutions cards. They weren't actually given like X and Y promos because of the same artwork. But yeah, so 219 cards, but I'm definitely not going to be talking about 219 cards. So please, I encourage you to go down below, use this link to get to the use a link to get to the Google sheet, and then you can kind of examine from there and like really take your time, look at which promos you have, and see if there's worth anything there. I'll also have a link to a playlist containing all my other value discussions similar to this. I did all the Sun and Moon promos at 1.2. I've done all the Sun and Moon sets, all the X and Y sets to this point now, and or all the X and Y sets, as well as all the Sword and Shield sets up to Darkness Ablaze. And my next ones after this, and after like a summary of all the X and Y sets, will probably be Champion's Path as well as Vivid Voltage, since they've been out for a while, at least I think long enough. So besides all that, I'm just going to be going through a quick breakdown of the spreadsheet just so you're not too lost if you haven't seen one of these videos before. So starting out in the left column, or administrative information. Oh, you can see my other self working in the document. I have some color coordination there. The spreadsheet took me over the course of like 3 days, at least looking at prices, because, typing in all these, I wish it was just as simple as copy and pasting from TCG Player, but it takes a little bit more than that. But just compiling all the prices for the ungraded as well as the graded, and just like looking on eBay for sold listings, it takes a while. So it took me the course of 3 days, after work and between classes. So there's that. Now the card, very self-explanatory. I tried to put the card number as well, so it's a very easy reference, and you can kind of match, because like, for example, Pikachu, Charizard, they have a ton of promos, so if you match up the number, then you should be able to know which one it is. If it's in red, it'll be a card that I'm talking about today. If it's italicized, it's actually a card I have in my collection. I think I only have like 7 or 8 X and Y promos, so I'm not too deep on X and Y promos. Rarity, every single card will be a promo within this. Raw and TCG players, the market price value on TCG Player rounded down to the nearest dollar. And if it wasn't found on TCG Player, then I just went to eBay and I went to the last sold ungraded listing. For grade, I try to find PSA 10s. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these graded cards have very small populations, or they just hadn't been graded at all, so it was kind of difficult. And if I couldn't find a PSA 10, I tried to find something close to that. Sold price is the last sold price on eBay, rounded up to the nearest dollar, not including shipping. Date of sale is when it was sold. So, if it's been selling recently, or like there's a ton of quantities being bought and sold, it's a more popular card. Or if it hasn't been sold for a while, maybe it's not that popular, or maybe it's just really rare. And then the PSA 10 population, the number on the left is the number of PSA 10s, and the number on the right is the number currently registered with PSA. So also, I'll have some grayed out portions in here like that, and it'll be a question mark. And anytime I get to those, basically that's when I go on eBay, I see an auction, and it's like one of the few graded auctions, but a best offer was accepted. I had a couple techniques in the past to look at what the actual value was, or an approximation, but I can't even do that now. So I'm putting up the listed price, but I'm not like affirming that, yeah, that's what it sold for, because there's just no way to know. Generally, 99% of the time it's lower than that value, but it can go either way. If you guys know a new method to actually look up the sold price, please let me know. For like best offer, please let me know. And then also I might have NA in the PSA 10 population. That just means PSA has never received any cards, or that specific card to be graded, so it's not even in the system. All right, so we'll start out slow with a nice Sylveon. Very beginning, PSA 9 sold for $58 on 28 March. And there's actually a decent amount that's been submitted to grading. Sylveon, an evolution, not the most popular evolution, but it's definitely up there. So you can't really go wrong with Sylveon. We scroll down to Charizard EX, one that I actually own. The one that I own was from my aunt's collection, or my cousin's collection, and it's like in heavily played damage condition, but a PSA 10 recently sold for $511. Not the easiest to grade, about a 20%, or a little over 20% for getting 10s, so that's not horrible, but a good looking card. We have the Champions Festival 2014. So these promos, like, they're kind of hard to get a hold of. You obviously have to go to, you know, Worlds and all that stuff, and either be playing in the tournament or like be there or be on staff or whatever. So they're pretty hard. I've just put down the price of the quarterfinalist one ungraded, and there's been no recent graded sold listings. And I put the population for the quarterfinalists, which is 0 out of 8 for 10s. We have the Charizard EX XY29 PSA 10 sold for $236. This one seems to be a little bit easier to grade compared to the other ones. We have this Ditto. I've never seen this Ditto card until I started, you know, doing research on these promos, and it's a pretty cool Ditto card. It's different. PSA 9, $105. You're going to realize a lot of these cards, like PSA 10s, are extremely hard to come by. Extremely hard to come by. I mean, 1 out of 13. We have the Altaria XY46 pre-release staff promo, and a 9 sold for $225. I think Altaria is kind of a random Pokemon, but it's also cute, so I feel like, you know, there's people out there that have kind of a special place. I personally really like Swablu and Altaria. I think they're pretty cool Gen 3 Pokemon. We have the Gyarados XY60 pre-release staff promo. This is not to be confused with the one from Evolutions. This one's completely different. I personally think this one's kind of cool because it's like that kind of almost full art, and no recent graded sold listings, unfortunately. Only 5 out of 100 and a 10, so pretty hard to grade. Pretty hard to grade. We have the Rayquaza EX Shiny XY69. This one's pretty much identical to, I think, a previous promo. It might even be XY66, but it's basically the shiny version of it, which is pretty cool. PSA 9 was listed for $350, and best offer was accepted. If I'd imagine, it sold for at least $100, but I don't think it got over like $250. I imagine the offer was probably in between $200 and $250, but that's just speculation. We have the Reshiram Full Art. So pretty much all these, you see XY74 all the way through, what is it, like XY83, I believe. All of these were really cool. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember if there was like I don't think this was the Generations ones where they all started coming out, but these are all really cool full arts. And for the Reshiram in particular, the PSA 9 sold for $100. Only 3 out of 8 10s. But I personally think these are really cool. I think it'd be awesome to have like a full set of these. They're just really nice artworks, and they're like legendaries that I don't get as much love. I mean, it's pretty cool. We have the Champions Festival 2015, $120 ungraded. I think I just had the regular staff one, and then 0 out of 16 for 10s on that. Yeah, these cards are just something else. I know there's like people that like these are just those higher end, you know, trophy cards or whatever that people collect, but they're pretty hard to get a hold of. They're pretty hard. I don't imagine I'll ever get one unless, you know, I go to Worlds someday and maybe finagle something or trade somebody, but yeah. Mewtwo XY100, PSA 9 sold for $200. I think a lot of people realize because these 10s are so hard to come by, I think it truly increases the 9 price a lot because people just want these in their collection. So yeah. We have the Mewtwo EX XY107, PSA 10, $275. So honestly, not too bad for a PSA 10. And Mewtwo, another really popular legendary from first generation. You find it in that cave. It's, you know, a lot of people will always like Mewtwo. And then Mew. So I personally think Mew has a lot of good XY promos. And this one, XY110 and a PSA 10 sold for $200. And a decent amount have been submitted to PSA, but only 62 out of 298 came back 10. So this is interesting. There's Darkrai. I was kind of surprised. This Darkrai and a 10 sold for $203, XY114. And yeah, I figured I'd include it because it sold for over $200, but I just thought it was interesting. Sold in March. We have the Charizard EX XY121. This one sold for $700, and this is actually the most submitted card to PSA as far as XY promos go. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned at the beginning. If I did, then I'm just repeating myself, but I'm not including any alternate art promos in here because it just gets a little bit complicated. I do plan on doing alternate art promos, but that'll probably just be a separate video. But yeah, $700 in a PSA 10. It's the most graded at 1,022 submitted. Only 263 coming back at 10, so not the best ratio. But yeah, I mean, all these, you know, through the Blastoise Venusaur, these are all really nice cards. If they're the ones that I'm thinking of, I think these are the ones that kind of came out Generations time. You got the Pikachu EX XY124. So this one, another best offer. It was listed at $800. Honestly, when it comes to Pikachu, and this one has 33 PSA 10s out of 209. So if I had to guess, I would maybe say around 300, 250 to 300. I think 800's pretty high. I mean, since it was in May, they might have been a little bit more desperate, maybe 500, but yeah, I just can't see it being 800. We have the Mew EX, XY126. This card it's quite a looker. It's quite a looker. There's a few of these cards that I've been thinking about adding to my collection because they're pretty nice. I'm probably not because I'm trying to stay focused because it's really easy just to want to collect everything, but then you actually end up like fully collecting nothing. So I'm really trying to focus right now. But PSA 10, this one, $510, 63 out of 239 for PSA 10s. We have the Moltres pre-release staff. I thought this was nice. You know, one of the original birds got a pre-release staff promo. And it sold for $133 in a PSA 8. I think it's funny that the ungraded price goes for more than, or on TCG Players more than the PSA recent sold listing price. So you can take that as you will. No PSA 10s, at least as of right now. Who knows? There might be 1,000 pre-release staff Moltresses at PSA right now. Very doubtful, but there could be. Magikarp XY143. This has been a popular one. PSA 10 sold for $350. It's that golden one. It's very nice. Or shiny one. I don't know why. Well, I guess it's golden too, but 561 have been submitted, only 212. Honestly, not the worst ratios compared to some of these other ones. So we'll be scrolling through a bunch. We have the Mega Gengar EX. This one I like because it has like a really cool border. XY166. PSA 10 sold for $228, and 80 out of 187 got a 10. So I don't know. I know there's a lot of Gengar fans out there. I would put Gengar kind of like in that mid to high tier collectible Pokemon because a lot of people like Gengar. So we have the Pikachu EX XY174. PSA 10 in this sold for $136. I mainly included this one because it was just another Pikachu promo. I know there's a lot of people out there that are master set collectors of Pikachu cards, and I give props to you because there are so many Pikachu cards out there. Like, the cards within the sets, they're not too bad because, you know, until Vivid Voltage, there's not too many ultra rares of Pikachu. But promo-wise, especially if you delve into Japan, oh my gosh, Pikachu's all over the place. Good luck. Champions Festival 2016. I did the staff one for this one. $200 ungraded, $736 in a PSA 7. And 52 of these cards have been submitted, and none came back 10. So, yeah, the PSA 10 master sets of these Champions Festival promos. Good luck. Good luck. We have the Mewtwo EX XY183. PSA 10 sold for $220. 16 out of 42. Okay. Nothing significant there. The Pikachu League promo. So this one I thought was really cool. I didn't know this existed either. I remember the original promo that this is based off of, but then this is, I guess, one that, you know, came out during the XY era. And a PSA 10 was listed for $5,000. Best offer accepted because I got it in that gray. And 12 out of 60 10s. So I'm like thinking about this. 5,000. I get it. Master set PSA 10 Pikachu collectors out there, but maybe 1,000. I feel like 1,000's even pushing it. Don't get me wrong, this is a really cool card. You know, it's a reprint of an older promo, but I feel like the older promo should still have this down, even though it has like the League promo little stamp or whatever. I don't know. Tell me what you would think this would actually sell for, because 5,000 I think is way too high. And then we have all these gym badges, and I highlighted the gym badge Giovanni because this one I had a confirmed PSA 10 price of $178. This is XY210, and I honestly thought this just shows, you know, how, you know, unstudied or uneducated I am for like a lot of these older sets that I just wasn't collecting during the time, which is why I'm excited to kind of just go throughout the history and just kind of explore everything, but like the entire TCG. But I thought Sword and Shield doing their like little gym badge things, I thought that was the first time Pokemon did that, but I'm clearly wrong. They might have done it for every freaking generation. I don't know, but they did it here. These cards are kind of cool. I think they're more cool like in a full set, but I was surprised that not many of these have been like submitted or even sold because, you know, the gym leaders like Gym Heroes, Gym Challenge, and the full arts of these gym leaders, they generally do pretty well, but I guess these ones people just don't like as much. I mean, they do just look like regular trainer cards. And then we have all the pre-release staffs from Evolution. So we'll start out with the number one for this video, not unexpected at all, Charizard pre-release staff. $15,000 or $15,100 sold end of April. This might have been around the PWCC time or maybe before it, but 38 out of 400. So for those Master Set PSA 10 Charizard collectors out there, this one's a hefty one. We have the Gyarados pre-release staff. I couldn't find just like a regular ungraded one sold for it, or at least recently. Maybe y'all have a decent price. I imagine it's going to be hovering around $100 like all the other ones, though. But the PSA 9 sold for $1,567. There are only 4 PSA 10s. It's actually tied for the lowest for these pre-release staff promos and evolutions. So, and I personally think this is just a really cool Gyarados artwork. We have the Mewtwo, $135. PSA 9 sold for $1,400, and there's only 5 10s out of 143 submitted. Shoot, I really like this card too. I think they picked really good like promos for this. Like they hit them all right. Because Machamp, or Charizard, of course, is Charizard. Gyarados is just really cool water dragon. And then you have Mewtwo, which everybody freaking loves Mewtwo. And then you have Machamp. $350 ungraded. Beating out everybody. I think this one actually just looked up straight up on eBay. And yeah, I could see it being about the same as the Gyarados and the Mewtwo, but hey, I'm gonna give it the number that it had. And then PSA 9, $680, a little bit less, actually more than half less than the previous ones that we just talked about. Only 4 out of 10, or only 4 PSA 10s out of 94. But you know, Machamp, this card is, I feel like everybody has at least one of these cards in their collection. I even have one of these cards, and you know, I think I opened up like a few packs of the original base set when I was a kid. So yeah, that was this entire list. Once again, I encourage you to utilize the links down below to other value discussions, as well as accessing the spreadsheet, and then you can copy and paste and have your own running document. But yeah, I just wanted to basically give you guys a rundown on all the promos and just any interesting ones. I'm curious if you have any of these that are, you know, worth something, or what your favorite promo is. I don't have very many promos from this era. I have a decent amount from Sun and Moon, but I'm pretty much getting almost every single one from Sword and Shield, so we'll see how that goes down. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have for you guys. Look forward to, because these videos aren't doing as well as like some of my openings and all that stuff, which is completely fine. Like I can definitely adapt, because when I was doing the more recent sets, like Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, they were doing a lot better. But then as I started diving into X and Y, obviously not as many people are going to be interested in X and Y, because you can't just readily go to the store and get X and Y. Well, you can't really readily go to the store and get anything right now, but it's getting better. But yeah, I might, because I'll probably be doing Black and White next after I do some Sword and Shield ones. And I'll probably just be releasing one of these a week, and then be focusing my other few days that I release videos on something else. So I mean, I recognize there are people out there that still truly enjoy these videos, and I enjoy making them and doing the research, so I will continue them, but I won't be releasing 2 of these every single week, at least for the foreseeable future. Things can always adjust. I've adjusted to this, and I can always adjust back. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I want to appreciate you guys. If you watch this long, like, my goodness, this is a long video, a lot of information, but this is your second video of mine. Consider subscribing. If you like what you saw, leave a like. If you don't like what you saw, give me some feedback down below on how I can improve, or just give me a dislike. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I wish you guys the best of luck in organizing your collections. Have a good one.